Well, welcome to this episode of ISV Talks Video, and I'm Carol Livingston of Dynamics Connections and your host of ISV Talks. On this video, I have some special guests with me and a co-host, Bob McAdam. Welcome, Bob, and the rest of the team.
Thanks, Carol. You're not the host today. I'm the host today. I've taken over ISV Talks just this one time. You need a day off, but we're going to put you to work anyway because today we're going to discuss our fabulous session, Stakeholder Advocacy for Dynamics GP End Users. And you and I are very pleased to be joined by our fellow panelists, Tiffany Allen and Fawaz Hussain. Welcome, everybody.
Hey, hey.
Hello, everyone.
Let's have Tiff and Fawaz introduce themselves in that order. Ladies first.
Hey, everybody. Tiffany Allen here from CorePay. I'm previously QuickTag by InChoice, acquired by Paymerang, and then CorePay just recently acquired us here again. So just keeping things real and fresh and changing it changes constant. One thing that is also constant is me in the AP automation world. I've been around here for about 16 years, specific to Microsoft. So I really love the channel, and I'm super excited about our session at Summit in just a few weeks.
Fawaz.
Thank you, Bob. Hello, everyone. Fawaz Hussain from Notice Technologies. Notice is a part of a company called Global Payments, but we are coming to the show as Notice. Similar to Tiffany, I've also been in the channel for almost 16 years now, heading towards my 17th year. Specifically with Notice in the Microsoft Dynamics area, have been working with Dynamics partners since those years, and very, very excited to be at this event and to be speaking with you all.
All right, great. Thank you. I'm Bob McAdam, leading strategic partnerships at TaskLit, and it's great to be here with my three friends to discuss this important topic. Carol, everybody knows who you are on ISV Talks, but we want to say welcome to you, and thanks for letting us take over your show today. This is great.
Hey, thank you, Bob.
Okay, so on Wednesday, which is what, October 16th, correct? Am I right about that? Yeah, Wednesday, October 16th at 1:30 Central Time in location 207B, like Bob, we'll have our Mythbusters session, separating fact from fiction around the future of Dynamics GP. We know from history at Community Summit, formerly known as GPUG Summit, old habits die hard, that there are a lot of Dynamics GP end user companies, particularly in North America, that are making good use of Dynamics GP in their back office, and they just simply need to know what's going on with the publisher, right? Microsoft is a great big company, much bigger than the average company, and the Dynamics piece is an important part of their revenue. And, end users need to know what the future is with Dynamics GP because they've got a lot of time and effort invested in Dynamics GP. It's doing what they want. They've got a good relationship with their partner, hopefully, and they need to know the facts about what's coming with Dynamics GP. So the four of us are having a consistent roundtable. We've done this multiple times. We did this in Charlotte last year. We did this it was Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, we've had plenty of opportunities to talk about the future of Dynamics GP because things never remain the same. So we want to make sure end users are up to date on everything that's going on with Microsoft and Dynamics GP so that the stakeholders involved can make the best decisions for their company. That makes complete sense. So in this session, we've published some learning objectives, and I thought we could go over the learning objectives, one at a time, starting with Carol, formerly host of ISV Talks. No, just kidding. And then, Carol, what's one of the learning objectives we're going to teach people about at this session?
Yeah, so we're myth busting, overall the kind of myths that have been surrounding Dynamics GP and that it's going away. And kind of our first learning objective is to really debunk the myth that GP is going away and other common myths, but we'll just really help those Dynamics users of GP understand the modern life cycle and kind of recent announcements and really share how GP is not going away and present some facts around that.
Yeah, I agree. There's so much information floating around this ecosystem, some accurate, some not so accurate. And it's important to, let everyone know what's really been said so that they can make the best decisions. And a lot of times it's misinformation. We don't want people making decisions based on misinformation, right?
Right.
So true.
Tiffany, we've got another learning objective we're also going to go over, aren't we?
Absolutely. Another myth that we really want to tackle is that Microsoft and ISVs are no longer making updates to the product to support Dynamics GP. It's a great topic to cover. Absolutely. We'll have tons of data points specific to Microsoft updates that are being made, as well as similar to ISVs, just such as ourselves here, but also others in the marketplace supporting the GP community.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, something that we haven't stressed very much, but really should, and we can do that today, is that the three of you, while you have skin in the game with Business Central, and it's an important part of your strategy going forward at Notice, at Corpay, and at Dynamics Connections, there is a deep tie-in to Dynamics GP and existing customers and existing partners. And that's why this topic is important to all four of us, really.
100%. I mean, absolutely passionate about GP, but also the Dynamics channel as a whole. So happy to
Right.
get into it.
All right. Fawaz, you've got our third learning objective.
Yeah, Bob. So another myth that we're going to be debunking is the noise we've been hearing about Dynamics GP customers must move off of GP now. Now, we talked about it earlier, like there is a lot of noise out there. We're not here to tell you what to do, what not to do. We're here to help you navigate through this, through the messaging. You heard we have done research, we have spoken to people, we have done our due diligence to find out exactly what's going on, and we will tell you how to navigate through all that and what is real and what's not real.
Yeah, that's exactly right. People need to know what's going on, you know, and what kind of time frames do they have or do we think they have, right? It's moving off of a customized system can be complex, and nobody wants to be forced into making a bad decision. So
Exactly.
that to me is an important learning objective that we all not only need to go over as a panel, but also have an interactive discussion with people that attend the session.
That's right.
So speaking of that, on Wednesday, October 16th at 1:30 Central in location 207B, like Bob, we're going to talk about some other topics as well. So Fawaz, what's one of those topics we'll be delving into during our session on the 16th?
With the theme of debunking myths and navigating through all that chatter, we will be talking about, the service that we have done, also what some of the other ISVs and partners have been saying. We will share about some of the ISVs and partners who have shown their commitment to staying with Dynamics GP.
You're right. Some of them have made public commitments and they're pretty substantial. So we're going to go over some of those and make sure you know who they are. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the list gets longer, but I think the ones that have made public commitments thus far have made some significant ones. They're really impressive.
And I think many will probably join us in that session, Bob. So it'll give, those attendees an opportunity to connect with ISVs and partners that are fully committed to their product. So great opportunity to connect with them in a smaller forum.
Yeah, good point, Tiffany. Good point. Tiffany, what else are we going to be talking about during this fabulous session at 1:30 Central on Wednesday, October 16th?
In 207B as in Bob, right?
That's right. 207B as in Bob.
Okay. This is the fun one. It's really, we've got a ton of data around this. And the data really is something that we want to bring forth to you guys so you understand exactly where you are in your journey of staying on GP or maybe making a transition. We've got our own survey results that we've been able to leverage our network within the ISV and the partnership communities. But we also have several other people that we've partnered with, and they've been willing to also just share data with us that have been surveying Dynamics GP users, partners, and ISVs. So you understand exactly where you are in that midst. It's really going to help debunk the myth that, GP is going away or you have to move off now. I think there's really power in numbers, and you can feel much more comfortable and confident in your decision when you see how other people are navigating the changes that are in front of all of us here.
Excellent. Excellent. Carol, I know we've got plenty of other topics that we're going to talk about during our session and interact with our attendees, but what's one more thing you could maybe sneak preview for us?
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of misinformation around what Microsoft has said and what statements they have said. And, we're going to kind of cover announcements from Microsoft, the modern life cycle, and really kind of try to help understand where customers are today and in the future. And what are the kind of information that's been shared out there may not be exactly correct. And so we want to set the facts straight.
Yeah, I think it's important to know the facts and the related dates that Microsoft has put out there, and it's also
Right.
important, you know, to make sure people understand exactly how they've positioned existing customers versus prospective customers. And I think a lot of people would be surprised at our predictions about how many companies in the world are actually using Dynamics GP. I find those numbers to be quite eye-opening and a reason
Right.
in and of itself to attend our session.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
I and
Well,
I think that Tiffany made a good point is a lot of users want to know what are other users saying or what are other
yeah.
partners saying because a lot of times they're getting information sent to them from, competitive products to Microsoft and it's confusing. So there is a lot of questions out there and we're hoping to set the information out there that helps users understand where they are today so they can make
Mhm.
decisions that make sense for their business.
Yep, you're exactly right. And I want to reiterate something that Fawaz said earlier, and that is we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to give out facts and information we've carved up together, and so that people in this space can make the right decisions. If you're ready to move to Business Central or finance and operations, then work with your partner and make a plan. But if you're content where you're at with Dynamics GP, you just need to know the information that's out there so you can make the best decision for the back office and for your colleagues. It's really important. An ERP system is the core of any company. And like Fawaz said, we're not here to tell you what to do. We're here to try and unmuddy the waters, if you will, and make sure people in our community are presented with the best information possible. That's all.
Why us?
Yeah, why us? Well, we all have skin in the game with BC, and it's an important part of Microsoft's forward strategy for small and mid-sized businesses. And it's got a lot of momentum these days, and there are lots of good reasons to look at it. But everyone needs to decide for themselves in their own back office what the future of their IT strategy is going to be so they can continue to compete and scale and do well and grow their business. That's what we're all interested in having is happy, growing customers.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I will tell you, it's been really exciting for me with our latest acquisition by Corpay. There was a review of products and products that we would support. And
Right.
what was very clear is the full support for Dynamics GP would continue. I had a little bit of nerves and anxiety going into it, like, hey, what's going to happen with our product line? And I was super excited to see that they understood and they could see clearly from our revenue that GP is a huge part of our business and our practice, and we'll continue to support it going forward. One of the exciting parts is whether they're going, when you make that decision to transition, whether that be next year or, 5+ years from now, we also are continuing to support the full Dynamics suite of products as well. So, if it's going to BC or if finance and operations makes sense to you, we've got you covered there. So I think, this group of, ISV providers out here has really been committed to the Microsoft Dynamics channel. We'll continue to stay committed to GP, but I love to see how we're all continuing to evolve our businesses to support any of the ERPs because there's different reasons, right? To be able to carve out, your niche in the BC space, F&O, or certainly stay exactly where you are in GP.
Yep. The skin in the game for everyone here is wonderful. So it's, having the three of you here with skin in the game around BC as well as GP makes you objective panelists. And that's the best part about this panel.
Mhm.
The experience and the objectivity and your moderator, but we won't get into that. Okay, well, before we wrap up on this special edition of ISV Talks, where Carol did not run the show, but was kind enough to let me do that, we want to remind everybody that you can visit summitna.com and learn everything you need to learn for mid-October in San Antonio, Texas. So there's probably going to be 5,500 or so people in San Antonio. So you want to make sure that you've got your plane ticket and your hotel and your walking shoes, and that you're ready to advance your networking opportunities during the day and in the evening, because it's going to be a very full show. On Wednesday, October 16th, which is the day of our session, the GP general session is in the morning. And then at night, there's an advanced networking opportunity at the Power GP Online party, 9 p.m. Central Time until who knows when. I'm sure Tiffany and Fawaz will be out much later than me, per the usual. But this is a big, big party. I mean, networking opportunity for GP end users and partners. It's the biggest thing going on at Summit every year. So thanks to
I don't
Power
know if you
GP
need
Online.
walking shoes though. Maybe cowboy boots. We are headed to Texas, Bob.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how long I can walk in those cowboy boots. My feet are just killing me.
But to your point, it's a long day for GP. Oh, Carol,
Look at
Carol got the
Carol.
hat ready.
Got one step
Cowboy
ahead of the
hat.
rest of us.
Yes, she is.
To the
She
party.
is.
I'll wear this to the party. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds
And
excellent.
discussion, right?
And the session, yeah. I
Okay.
definitely.
And the GP general session, because October 16th is GP day. I think we just need to claim it right now.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
GP day.
And Bob, are the attendees gonna get to see that belt buckle?
The old G-Pug belt buckle, I should probably pull that out of the storage and
Oh
put
my
that on. Yeah.
gosh, that's right.
Maybe I'll wear that
Bob
just
has the
on
boots.
Wednesday for GP day. Yeah. It's a good idea,
Yeah.
Fawaz.
Awesome.
That, unlike the hat, fits in my suitcase. So anyway, visit summitna.com. The agenda is out there. The floor plan for all the ISVs that have a booth like Paymerang, like Notice, like Tasklet is out there. So you're going to want to do your homework at summitna.com before you get to San Antonio. And that way you can hit the ground running. There's going to be a lot going on, not the least of which occurs on Wednesday, October 16th. So we look forward to seeing everybody there, especially at our session, 1:30 Central Time, location 207B, like Bob. And Carol, thanks for taking this gigantic risk and letting me host ISV Talks with our wonderful friends, Tiffany and Fawaz. And we will see all of you in Central Texas in about 6 or so weeks.
All
Looking
right.
forward to it. Yeehaw.
Yes,
Giddy up.
indeed. Giddy up.
See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.